Welcome back, everybody, to another amazing Xbox episode. That is the XoneBros. We are your positive gaming and Xbox community. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. As always, I am joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First and foremost, it's Mr. McSpicy.
Hello, how's it going?
Next, it's Jordan the Man.
Hello.
And last but not least, I am X1. It's a big month. It's the month of February. It's the month of love. It's the month of Valentine's Day.
That's
and what
right.
better way to celebrate the month of love than to change up our game club game of the month? Last month's was Gears Tactics. Jordan, real quick, give me a synopsis, review, thoughts. Who should play Gears Tactics before we jump into the February game of the month?
Everybody that has Game Pass.
Everybody that has Game Pass should
And
play it.
anybody who's a fan of Gears, because I actually think... Well, anybody who's a fan of just that style of game. It's a what'd you call it, turn-based strategy?
RPG.
RPG,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very similar to like an XCOM or something like that. It's really good.
It is really good.
Being set in the Gears universe gives it a lot of character
Gives it
and
some crunch.
fun mechanics to it. But anybody who likes games like XCOM, or if you just like the Gears series in general, because it does add to the lore, and if you have Game Pass, because it's on Game Pass for both console and PC.
That it is.
So.
That it is. Yeah, Gears Tactics, that was our Game Club Game of the Month last month. This month, we've got a new one. To join the Game Club Game of the Month, all you got to do is come join us on Discord. We've got a channel where we talk about it. It's a really good time. This month's, February's, is the one and only. It's just recently entered Game Pass. Mm-hmm. That's right. It got a Series X launch trailer, which is amazing, by the way. We watched that during the pre-show. It is the Falconeer. That's right, the Falconeer. Jordan, tell me, what are you most excited for to play? Why are you? What about the Falconeer makes you excited to play it?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what. It has a very.
There was quite a few things in there that did good things. To me, this is what it felt like. You guys remember in Avatar: The Last Airbender at the end of season 1 where they go to the North Pole?
Yes.
I feel like
Water Tribe.
Yeah, Water Tribe. Yeah,
Water Tribe?
I feel like it's a game where you're flying a giant bird defending the northern Water Tribe.
Yeah, agree. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It does have that feel.
Had that vibe to it.
It's got an airbender animalistic vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's like instead of flying Appa, you're flying a hawk.
Appa!
A falcon, probably.
A falcon. It is a falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Falconeer.
They should make it a hawk, but call it falcon.
I actually, because I'm reading Spellmonger, these in-between books where it's about this girl who has powers of she can put herself inside of a hawk and then control the hawk.
like an animorph.
Well, it's a falcon, actually, as well. It has got me interested, so I started YouTubing how to become a Falconeer. It's pretty cool.
Like how to actually change into a falcon?
No, how to like...
How do I have magical powers? I'm actually going to Google search that. I want to see what comes up.
No, how to have a pet falcon, basically, and do falconing.
All I know is they wear gloves because they have sharp claws.
Sharp talons.
Talons, I guess. Yeah,
Yes.
talons would be the proper.
How to get psychic and magic powers exposed.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of stories on this.
It's
Wait,
This might be a real thing.
are magical powers real?
They kind of
They
are.
are.
They are.
Have you not been to Vegas?
I just don't want the kind that cause like some are made by some tragic event.
When I was first married, my wife told me I was magical, but I think I've lost it.
But then she figured it out.
But I think I've lost it. She figured out I was just a magician with cheap tricks. Anyways, the Falconeer, super excited. Spicy, what stands out to you on the Falconeer? Why are you excited to play this month?
I mean, I really enjoyed in my childhood Star Fox growing up, and it looks like it's Star Fox instead of in a spaceship. You're on a hawk or a falcon. I guess. Sorry, you're on a falcon, right?
True doctrine.
And it just looks pretty. It's a pretty game.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Star Fox, so there's a win there. So I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm very excited.
And
to
it
play
is-
that.
It's on Game Pass,
Yeah,
right?
it is, yes.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. It's exciting to see it and jump into it here on Game Pass is such a great deal. Such a great deal. Everybody, before we jump in to our discussion here, I just want to remind you, come join us over on YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. Here on Friday, we do record it live. We also have a pre-show and an after party that we record live as well. It's this whole event. So come join us. Come hang out. It's just a great way to get to know us. Great way to get to know the community. If you've not been by, come join us. Otherwise, subscribe because we're dropping videos and doing live streams. Jordan, you streamed this week. What game did you stream?
Dragon Quest.
Yeah, we
11.
almost made Dragon Quest because of Jordan.
Yeah.
Game Pass Game of the Month. We figured it was too long, though.
Maybe. I mean, who, you know,
I'll tell you
I
what.
don't
You playing that game made me want to play that game.
know. It's pretty fun so far.
Let's pull up Dragon Quest here. Jordan, give me your first impressions and thoughts on Dragon Quest.
So far I'm not like super far in, just a few hours. I've been wanting to play this game forever. It's been on Game Pass for quite a while. I think since December. I've never played this Dragon Quest before. I've been excited for it to come to Xbox. I was excited when it came to Game Pass. I'm excited to play it, but I didn't want to start it until I got some other games out of the way.
Yeah,
you know,
which is understandable.
Yeah, because once you start, just I don't want to just fall behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're always got to look over your shoulder.
You're
and you're like,
playing from
there's
behind.
that game. Yeah. So anyway, really cool game. It's a turn-based game. This is another game that I don't think is for everybody. One, the art style. Two, the turn-based.
It's a JRPG.
Strategy. Yeah, it's a JRPG, right? So if you like JRPGs, you'll probably
Pet
like
Lady
this.
has the most hilarious face.
Well, everybody in this game is cross-eyed.
Yeah,
so
that
just
lady's
so you
face.
know that.
Look at the lady's face.
Every single person in this game is cross-eyed. I actually really like that. I really like that decision that they made.
That's a good decision.
That's a good art decision
for
to
comedy.
make everybody cross-eyed. No, so far it's really fun. I really like the combat system. It's turn-based, which is fun. You do have two different modes that you can play in. So there's the mode that we're looking at right now live on stream, which is the 3D mode, which
The
is
modern
how the
mode.
game originally released. Then they have
She's cross-eyed. Yeah, look at the way she walks.
Then they have
guard.
Then they have the classic 2D mode, which makes it look like the original Dragon Quest, like way back on your NES and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And both you can play the full game through both modes. It's really cool. But the reason I wanted to play this game is one, it's got that vibe that I like, right? JRPG vibe, Final Fantasy vibe, right? I was really excited for the story of this game because I've heard the story in the first couple hours of the game starts out like your typical RPG story, and then all of a sudden it just turns it on its side and takes you for a ride.
Oh, and you like being taken for a ride.
Yeah, I do. Where I'm at in the game right now, the story did start to pick up a little bit, so I'm excited to play more. But this game, so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, it's worth a try.
Tell me about playing it old school style. Because I did see you playing that.
Yeah, it's a cool feature. It just depends on how you want to play it. Personally, I did it because I wanted to see how it would work.
Just what it's like.
And what it's like. I wouldn't play the whole game like that.
Is it too old school? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. It's like the original
I don't think
Dragon
that's
Quest.
a bad thing, David.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's a bad
Sometimes
thing.
it
And
is.
I think some people will like it, some people won't. I don't mind it. I think it's a cool feature that it's there. Personally, I would just like to play in the newer style just because I like the newer style.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I
It
enjoy
looked good. You know what I really enjoyed? The music, the atmosphere. I was just watching you play. I wasn't playing it. But it's got character.
Yeah.
It's got feeling to
it does.
So
It does. And one thing that the stream liked, the chat liked, is to save the game, you have to go to church. Yeah. The lore is built in to save the game. To save the game, you go to confession.
Well, okay, and you were asked a question and you lied.
What
You
do
were
you
asked
mean?
like, where do you come from? And didn't you lie about it?
No. I said everything. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna lie. You
mean,
disappointed
Jordan never lies.
I never lie. Yeah,
you
I'm the
disappoint
hero.
me. You disappoint me.
I'm the hero in this game.
Well, there you go. Dragon Quest. First impressions. If you like JRPGs, this one I've wanted to play for a while.
Yeah, it's
so
a fun
I'm
one.
very excited that it's there.
Well, I just came off of like Assassin's Creed and
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, so very open world games. This is an open world game, but it's more like a
Turn-based open world?
well, it's turn based in the combat, but the open world is in sections, I guess.
Yeah.
kind of like a Guild Wars almost, just not as big
Like
sections
a
as Guild Wars.
old school Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, where you go to, it's open world, but within sections.
Yeah.
So it's not one big sprawling world that's connected. You have to go into different zones that are then open world. So it's a nice break for me.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a cleansing the palate type of. You're sniffing the
and
coffee beans.
it's very story driven. You can do side quests, but there's limited amount of side quests. There's not a ton of collectibles to go and get. So it's a nice change from, say, a game like Assassin's Creed, which is really fun, but can be overwhelming at times because there's so much to do and collect and all that stuff, right? So
Yeah. Very good. Dragon Quest, everybody. Why are you laughing at me? It's spicy.
No, I was like, where do you get these phrases? Is that a real phrase that I've never heard?
Well, sniffing the coffee beans, because have you ever been to like a perfume shop
Sure.
and they have cups of coffee beans that you smell to cleanse your palate?
Yeah.
See,
Where do you get these?
I don't
From
I
Kohl's?
don't go buy perfume very often.
I do toilet water. I love it.
Toilet water?
That's what it's called.
It's called toilet water?
Yeah. Cologne is toilet water. That's what it's called.
I just realized I'm not very cultured. I do not know the term toilet water.
You know other things though that I don't know.
I'm not cultured enough to know toilet water.
Yeah, in French. See, that's at the bottom of your cologne. It'll say it a lot of times. Toilet water.
I'm not cultured at all, everybody. I'm that guy.
You know where you are more cultured than I am. Sea of Thieves. You guys have been playing it. Let's actually pull up season 1 of Season Thieves here. And I want to get your guys' thoughts. Haven't you guys been jumping in and playing Sea of Thieves together?
I have.
Yeah.
I occasionally show up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I want to get your thoughts because we talked about the season 1 battle pass essentially last week on the show. We went over it in depth. What is it like, Jordan? Is it as good as it looked? Because it looked good.
Well, I feel like it's a typical first battle pass.
Okay.
So
they're getting their feet underneath them.
Yeah. So Sea of Thieves just launched their season 1. It's got a battle pass which is free to everybody. There are, I believe, 13 or 14 rewards that are the premium battle pass, or the Plunder pass is what they call it, which is just $10 if you want to buy that.
Did you purchase the Plunder pass?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to get some of those items. I do feel my only criticism of the battle pass itself is I wish there was more actual cosmetic items within the battle pass. There's a good handful, but most of the battle pass is doubloons and gold, which then, yes, you can take those doubloons and gold and then just go buy your own
but
stuff.
That's not really a huge incentive.
But yeah,
to complete the battle pass.
I would rather have exclusive rewards like, in season 1, tier 7 was this gun skin that you can't buy anywhere else. It was just in season.
Yeah.
It was just in season 1, and that's what I hope they do. So what Sea of Thieves has done is they've actually quote unquote recycled a few items in their history of the game. Like, for example, you can get certain items for killing the very first Megalodon event, if you guys remember that. I mean, now there's Megalodons all over the map, but the very first Megalodon event where you had to crew up with different crews and have teamwork and actually bring it down and sing a song to summon it.
The
and all
good
that
Megalodon.
Stuff. Yeah, the very original one. There's specific stuff that you got for doing that, specific cosmetics. Those cosmetics are back in the game, but they have a different color. They're like a different color palette. So they're not the original ones, so there's still value to like, oh man, that guy did that way back when, right?
Whoa, yeah.
I don't know how to say it. I don't necessarily. It's hard to say. I guess I don't mind that they're doing that, but I wish they wouldn't do that.
No, because
I wish it would be new stuff. Like, I don't want recolored stuff.
Well, here's the thing. It does devalue the first one.
Yeah,
because it does make it less unique. You want those as unique as possible.
I mean, the color scheme's different in some of these, and I was just using the Megalodon as an example. There's another few, another few things you can, or a few other things like that. I wish I don't. I mean, it's different enough to where it's like, okay, it's not the original one, so that it's not devaluing it a bunch. But I do wish it was more new stuff, I guess.
I
right?
understand
you know what I mean?
you're saying. So
now there is a bunch of new stuff that you can buy in the Pirate Emporium, which is fine. But again, I really wish they would have added more of that stuff to the Battle Pass. Rather than because if you look at the Battle Pass, the majority of the Battle Pass is gold and doubloons.
Sure.
There are some cosmetics in there.
Well, you need a nice mix.
Yeah, you need a nice balance.
So a good battle pass has,
and I'm not saying they're the only ones to do this. There's other games that do it as well. Like I think there was a season of Apex where after like level 25, the rest of the battle pass was virtually just like coins,
currency.
right? I mean, there was a few things here and there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
well, it's their first.
Yeah,
battle pass.
It's their first time. My only criticism towards the battle pass is I wish there was a few more cosmetics specifically to the battle pass, right? And another thing, I was talking to our barber about this. I also hope they don't eventually, because it kind of sounds like they will, I hope they don't eventually sell those things that you got in the battle pass in the Pirate Emporium. I like when things are just specific. For example, you take Vigor or Apex or something. That guy got that skin in season 3 of the battle pass at level 25, and that's how you get it, and that's how he got it.
I'll give you an example. In season 3 of Vigor, it was very cowboy. No, it was cops and robbers theme.
Yeah,
you can't get those.
Oh yeah,
those are only.
There's
battle
a cool
pass.
in Vigor. There's a cool skin I have for my pistol that says "Do not cross police line," and so you can't get that again, and it makes it feel like I was there for season 3.
Or there's loyalty, or there's badges that you unlock at certain levels, stuff like that. So
So
overall,
I like when games do that. So I hope they don't eventually sell this stuff in the Pirate Emporium. It kind of seems like they will.
Overall, you think it's a solid first battle pass for them, though?
Yeah, I think it's an okay first one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even the cosmetics are nothing to like. I mean, I get battle passes are all subjective, right? Like, they're you know, I may think one cosmetic is awesome. Bark may think it's the stupidest thing he's ever seen. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. What they did do that I do really like is they did what I'm calling a soft wipe.
And you like this?
Yes. So
why is it a soft wipe and not a hard wipe?
Yeah,
It's more of a bidet wipe.
It's a bidet wipe. It's not a wipe at all. It's a bidet.
Cleanses your palate.
So if you take a game like, let's talk about Escape from Tarkov, every so often they completely wipe the game and you have to start over essentially, right? Sea of Thieves did that in a soft way, right? They did a soft wipe. So what they did
is they wipe?
So your commendations and stuff like that.
Okay.
So all your commendations to like sit on, for example, sit on all the skeleton thrones. If you've done that before, they essentially... You still have the rewards you got from it, right? But they took it away and basically put it in their trial system, which is to go sit on them all again, right? Now, I like that because it gives new people and people that have played for years something to do again. It's like, oh, yeah, let's go do this again. That was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a soft wipe. Anything you've earned from doing all those crazy achievements that you've gotten during Sea of Thieves, you still have that. They just... have restructured it.
So are they going to do that every season?
I don't know.
Or is this like a one-time?
I don't know.
Once a year?
I think they might do it every season because how the trial system works is when you complete a trial, you get a bulk of experience that goes towards the season pass.
I see.
Right? So I like that they did that. I was thinking, could this get bored after, season after season after season? And then I thought to myself, well, I mean, I do it with Tarkov every season. So Tarkov every season. So no, it doesn't get boring. So
Tarkov though is a unique scenario.
It is
where they've got this kind of advanced economy going on in there.
Yeah,
and items broken down like crazy.
I
don't know that Sea of Thieves has that.
No, which is why I would like to see them
Sea of
do
Thieves
this.
is balanced. The reason it works in Tarkov is. You put time and effort into it, you're going to be overpowered compared to the guy who doesn't.
Now, what I would like to see them do is, let's take the Skeleton Thrones, for example. Like I said, it's kind of a soft wipe where all of that kind of reset. So we have to go do Skeleton, like our barber Blake, he did all the Skeleton Thrones. Now he has to redo them, and he gets a new reward for doing them, which is fun, because then now... he doesn't have to just drag me around to do it. We can do it together. So I think it brings that balance of, all the hardcore players that have done all that stuff can now go back and redo it with, let's say, newer players of the game, or just have something to do again.
Yeah.
What I would like to see them do with the trial system is and I know this is work, but I think it would be fun, is each season maybe introduce different trials. Now, I'm not saying completely different trials. Like, you can keep Skeleton Thrones in every season.
Who's to say that they won't?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I would like to see that. Maybe next season we have maybe 10 to 20 different trials that kind of swapped out, and then it keeps it fresh. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fresh.
So you're not just repeating the same thing every 3 months. You're, every 6 months you're maybe repeating the same ones. Just switch things up a bit.
That's not a bad idea. Super Shark in chat says, "Have you tried Emissaries yet?" He thinks that's a nice addition.
Yeah, Emissaries is really cool. So what you can do with Emissaries is you can basically vote to emissary yourself with one of the alliances or one of the whatever they're called, alliances, I believe is what they're called, which would be like the gold hoarders.
Yeah, the trades.
The traders, yeah. And then as you do that, you essentially level up your emissary, and you can get more rewards, more XP for doing their specific quests, which is really cool. I really like Season 1. I think it's a good start to the season. It makes me excited. I think I'm level 23-ish right now in the Battle Pass. I'm curious how
What is there, 50?
There's 50 tiers of the Battle Pass. I'm curious how the grind is going to be. It wasn't so bad, actually, just to get to where I'm at right now, 23. But I'm curious. I have a sneaking suspicion.
I mean, this is a grinding game.
Well, they're the king of grind.
The king of grind.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Battle Pass 40 to 50 is going to be terrible. But I don't know yet. I'm not there, like grinding-wise.
The king of grind.
But I like the season update. I really like them resetting all these challenges and giving us new rewards for them. I like the Battle Pass, although I would like to see a few more items exclusive in the Battle Pass, stuff that you cannot later buy in the Pirate Emporium. I'm just speculating that they're going to do that. I don't know if they're going to do that. It sounded like they were going to do that in one of their trailers. I would prefer them not to.
Spicy, have you jumped into Season 1?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I've been playing Hitman.
Oh, another good game.
Let's talk about Hitman 3. We could bring that up, too.
Is Jordan done then?
Yeah, Season 1's, so far it's good of Sea of Thieves.
So far it's good. So if you've been gone from Sea of Thieves, Jordan.
Yeah.
Give me
But
summarize this. Real
I think
quick.
this
Who
is
should come back.
That's what the soft wipe is. Why the soft wipe that they did is nice, because if you've been playing Sea of Thieves every day of every week, you still have something new to do in the season 1 update, as well as players that haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
So I think it's overall good for everybody.
Well, I think just a plunder pass works so naturally, or a battle pass with a Sea of Thieves sandbox game that's perpetual.
No,
it's already perpetual anyways.
It's really fun. I really like what they did. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the new features they've put in. My only thing is I just wish there was a little bit more cosmetic stuff in that battle pass.
Now, Jordan had played a little bit of Hitman last week.
Yeah, first time ever.
When we had talked. First time ever.
Yeah.
Spicy, you played the most recent episodic Hitmans, and you enjoyed them. How is Hitman 3 how are you enjoying it so far?
It's excellent. I love this game.
Yeah.
I love this game. It's not for everybody. Let me point that out. It's definitely not for everybody. Hitman never was. They never try to be something that they aren't. They actually stay very true to what it is. You are a silent assassin.
The silent killer.
You're a silent killer. Oh, let me skip ahead in the trailer a little bit so we can not spoil any of the story. Although, let me be real. I've played these games, and I have no idea what's going on.
Kill this person.
Well, when Jordan tries to explain... Was it
Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
This is like that. Like Agent 47 was a clone or something, and he had a friend growing up, and this people want to destroy this corporation, and this corporation hired this corporation, and now they're going after Agent 47, and I don't know what's going on. Like, it is like a deep dive into trying to figure out this political thriller. I don't know what's going on, right? But which is I still try to understand it. It's still interesting.
Yeah.
Because man, it's a very good game. So they don't try to be what they aren't. You're known as the apex predator.
They stay in their lane.
Yeah, and they do such a good job. You feel awesome when you figure out ways to kill a certain person. How this game works, and it's the same in Hitman 3 as in the other Hitmans. And I played the other ones after they had released all their chapters.
Sure.
This one is more like that. I think they released just all their chapters initially, but they're still separate.
Okay.
So every map is consider it like Majora's Mask on the old Zelda machine, the old Nintendo, where things happen on a timeline, and you can choose to kill people in a certain way, and if you kill them a certain way, you unlock things later, like a different spawn point. You can unlock a drop point for weapons that when you try to do the challenges later, you can now have access to a silenced weapon in the janitor's closet, and you can structuralize, okay, now I'm going for these challenges right here, and I need to kill him with an iron, or like I need to have him be kicked off of the Dubai Tower this turn, and every time you kill them in a certain way, you get bonus points and challenges, and it's actually a really fun game to figure out a map, and this is funny. I'll tell you something funny about that. To figure out a map and just understand it, and then figure out, okay, if I dress up as the cook, I can then poison his food, and that gets an unlock later, etc. And every map is so deep and replayable and replayable and replayable that it makes it very, very entertaining, very fun.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is really. I mean, just watching it too, it looks really good.
Well, their sandbox is phenomenal. It really is. Drop you in the world, and you do it how you want to.
Yeah, and you find things, and you're like, I mean, there's this one mission. It's at a vineyard. You know what's funny about this? I won't spoil anything, but if I do accidentally spoil, you're not gonna know what it means anyways. I'm at a vineyard, and the game is trying to force me to kill this person and dump them in a wine machine, and there's for those that have played that level, you know exactly what I'm talking about. this person like leans forward. Oh, look at these moving gears, you know, and you're like, should I push her now or should I do a really cool one later? You know, I don't know. I really like Hitman. I think it's an excellent game. If you play it like you play Call of Duty, you can beat it in 3 hours. If you play it like me, each level takes 3 hours to play it for the first time, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, what's really cool about
is there difficulty levels?
Yes.
Okay.
There's casual, there's normal, and then there's master.
Okay.
Masterful, I believe.
Jordan, you were saying?
Well, what's really cool about their replayability is, like Mark was saying with the challenges, you could play the same level 10 times and have a different experience each of those times.
Correct.
Because of how many ways there is to get to your target.
Yeah. I mean, and you can go in guns blazing and just play it like a Call of Duty map if you wanted to, and you'll get a lot of points, and that unlocks certain things for later because you need to kill, you know, that's one way to kill them.
Yeah.
But what makes this game great is just the way they allow you to use your imagination, and somehow they thought of you able to do that, and it was come to find out it's a challenge to kill them in this way, and not get caught, or to do it. You know, there's even like soda challenges where you smash Dr. Pepper over their heads and stuff.
That is hilarious.
Well, I didn't know this until you mentioned it, but there's leaderboards too.
Oh, yeah.
And how if you basically the more points you get for doing different challenges, then carry over to the leaderboard so you compare yourself against friends or the world and stuff, which is really cool.
I'm destroying you, Jordan.
Yeah,
I'm destroying.
Well, it took me like 2 hours on that first one because I was doing a lot of different stuff.
Well, because it's like, okay, so this is this room, and and then you're figuring out what these people map knowledge, and then you're learning as you're standing around. People are talking, and then you find out intelligence about this person, you know. This person is very particular about their electronics. So if you break something, that person, not a peon or somebody else, not a worker, will go up and fix it. So then you'll have some alone time with them, and you can just go up and kill them that way. Yeah. Right? You can gain a lot of intelligence just by being a silent assassin, sitting there and listening. Yeah. Really cool game. It's cool. Different. If you're not used to a Hitman game, it's very different. That's why I say it's not for everybody, but I really, really enjoy it.
Well, it's exciting. So Mark's destroyed me on the leaderboard on this level, actually, that we're watching right now, because this is the first level. But what's exciting is now that you've done it, once I finished that mission, I didn't immediately want to go on to the next one. It's like, I kind of want to go back, and I think I can do it this way. And better,
replay
it's really... There's like I said, their sandbox is phenomenal.
Well, and we were talking like that same level.
Yeah.
We killed our targets very differently. You know, it's fascinating. I kicked him off the skyscraper, and how did you?
So one of the targets walked in while I was hiding a body, and we had this weird interaction. So I just shot him. It was like this awkward looking at each other.
Eye contact for like
things
6
got a
seconds.
little awkward.
Yeah, so I was like,
very cool game. And I think I think I'm on the last level. It feels as though I'm on the last level, so I've almost beaten this game.
That's fantastic.
I do want to say one thing. If you have this game on the Series X, it looks phenomenal, and it does incorporate ray tracing as well.
Yeah.
Which is very, very cool stuff.
Yeah. It's a very good game. I strongly recommend it. And do you know what I like that they did that I think is going to be a lot more common? I think because Call of Duty started doing this in a certain way. But you go into the menu system, which I don't think the menu system's the best. I think it's really confusing. It took me like 20 minutes to find where my saved games were. Sure. Kind of a deal. But they set it up to where in the game, you can play Hitman 1 chapters, Hitman 2 chapters, and Hitman 3 chapters.
Yeah.
In that game. Like, it's part of Hitman 3 to play all the other releases.
Wow.
You have to buy the other releases separately.
But you can play them all in one spot.
I believe they're updated to the current graphic standard, which is really cool.
That is...
So you can start at the beginning... and they have, it's like for $79, I think you can get everything.
The Super Duper edition?
Yeah. You can get 1, 2, and obviously
that
3,
would be,
right?
go through them, and then you would understand the story.
I've gone through them. I've even watched recaps to try to figure it out. Like, it's a complicated... I mean, you're talking a room full of faces, pictures on the wall with yarn going everywhere, trying to figure out the constant and the ICA, and... There's all these companies that are... I had no idea that so many companies wanted to kill so many CEOs. I had no idea.
It's cutthroat out there, man.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat world.
Yeah.
Anyways, very good game. I really enjoy it.
In some big news this week, MLB The Show. It is coming to Xbox. We got a release date.
First time on Xbox.
First time on Xbox. Very
excited.
excited.
That's awesome. I didn't know this.
Very exciting. Yeah. So, the Major League Baseball redid their contract with their licensing deal with Sony and basically said, you have to put us on all boxes. So it's not
something we didn't know.
It's not something we didn't know.
But
we
it's
just
time.
We just didn't know the release date.
Yeah.
And so release date is April 20th, which is very exciting. Now let me tell you, if you're not into sports games or you don't think you're into sports games, baseball is the funnest sports game to go through and play a season. And the reason for that is it's statistics. Baseball is all about statistics. And so you can keep track of all of your stats, your player stats, your team stats. There's so many games in a season. You could play one a day, and it just keeps going. It's so good. MLB The Show, here it comes to Xbox. I think this is big. Xbox.
It's a really big deal. You have been for how many years, David? You have been trying to say, you get a PlayStation just to play that game.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
How many years have you been wanting this to come
I'm
to
very
Xbox?
excited. I'm going to be jumping all over this. It's going to be so sweet. I know a lot of people in the community are excited for it as well. Beyond that, and kind of in the same vein, sports gaming news.
Yeah, a lot of sports news
We lost
this week.
NCAA football in 2013. NCAA 2014 was the last one to come out. And EA dropped an announcement over on Twitter this week and all it said was, college football is back, EA Sports. And funny way that they did it, which I think is hilarious. It's simultaneously hilarious and awesome, is they went around the NCAA. So the reason what happened is in 2014 they were sued for using college players' likeness, and you got to go through licensing deals and stuff like that. So basically, EA said, we've always wanted to do this. Now the time is right. The CEO of EA said that this week, to bring back college football. If you notice, it's not called NCAA football. It's called college football, because they went around the NCAA and went basically to individual colleges.
I believe they have over 100 colleges,
through the collegiate licensing group, and license them individually without the NCAA. That's a huge punch in the nuts to the NCAA.
Yeah. Suckers.
I'm pretty excited about this because I used to work in NCAA compliance. I mean, last 2 years I haven't, but before that, that's what I was in. And this is a big deal and another step forward into really getting rid of the NCAA as a governing body. The NCAA in college athletics really only is there to enforce rules. They don't make money off of college football, for instance. They make money only off of basketball. The NCAA tournament, it's called the NCAA tournament basketball because it's the NCAA, it's the only thing that they make money off of. But they're over rules for football, and sometimes those rules don't make any sense, and sometimes they're
and then they
super overhanded. And
they enforce rules for some schools and not others.
And heavy-handed, and it's just become this giant bureaucratic mess, and I think eventually the colleges are just going to go off and do their own thing, and this is kind of a first step in that direction.
EA is leading the charge.
EA is leading the charge. Anyways, we're getting college football back.
That's exciting.
I could not be more excited. The reason this is a big deal is because the way that it used to work, that I used to play, is I would get NCAA college football every year. I would play my character from high school through college, get him drafted into the NFL. You could save your character, bring him into your first season of Madden. He'd get drafted into Madden on your team, and you play him all through Madden. It is so cool. It's so much fun. Also, the way they were getting away with not being sued for likenesses is they just paid for the licensing of the college mascot, brand, and stadium.
And traditions,
yeah. And players just randomly generated, which that's exactly all you need in college football.
So basically what they'll do is they'll be like, okay, Alabama has a 80 rating. They're basically just going to give it a rating that match.
And then you can go in and mod your own players if you like. But college football isn't about the players anyways. It is about the teams. And so it just works really well. I'm really, really excited. It's big. It's a big moment for sports.
It is. It's in the early stages of development, so I don't think we're going to see it this year. We'll probably maybe see it late next year, I think. Well,
what's funny is I went back and was watching the trailer for NCAA 2014. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. things have progressed quite a bit.
Yeah, well, it's going to be, I mean, how many years of Madden mechanics do you have that they're probably going to incorporate over to the new college football game, right?
Yet physics alone,
You think
got different play
You think they'll
modes,
have
too.
Ultimate Team? College Ultimate Team?
With random
characters.
random
Just make up names,
players.
right?
Yeah.
Can't you just make your own stuff up?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I wonder what they will do with it. They might do something recruit-wise or something. See, the cool thing if they had like a dynasty mode, I mean, they do have a dynasty mode. What they could do now with systems in play, it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, it actually will be interesting to see what they do because EA makes a lot of money off of Ultimate Team because of the microtransactions.
Yeah.
Both in Madden and FIFA.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with college football, if they do anything at all. I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, it all depends on it all depends.
All they
right?
need are aliases with any card random name.
Yeah.
Like Jerry the Tank,
Well,
he's a 96.
Well, you know how you could do it since it's randomly generated. You could sell like different school cards to upgrade you have to get those cards to upgrade your single player team. Or
Yeah,
your
something like
stats
that.
way.
I assume they'll have. I don't know. Maybe college football will be the basic Madden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
not what Madden used to be, but maybe they'll take a lot of that stuff away and just focus on
Football?
football. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. So very
In
cool.
my game, first thing I'm going to do is fire my head coach at USC. That's the first thing I'm going to do. If he's not fired
out.
by then, let's see, a year from now, he's probably will still be
bet-
there.
I bet
he
what
probably
the-
will still be there.
I bet what they'll do is they'll do their what's it called, Road to Glory, or I don't know what it's called, their single player campaign.
Yeah.
You know, with the cutscenes and all that. I bet you they'll do because that actually kind of works really well for college because you
It
can do
does.
4 years.
yeah,
you
that
know,
does. That works not
Unless
bad.
you choose to go to the NFL when you're a junior. I
That
don't
works
know.
not bad. I believe Happy Mayo left us a comment today, and he said he calls dibs on the XoneBros Dynasty mode, which is like the group season mode.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Happy
okay,
Mayo,
cool.
everyone has dibs. Talk to him when this game comes out in a year or two, and we'll be able to set
Yeah.
that up with the XoneBros. Very excited, and also I'm excited. If anybody wants to, we do have a very vibrant Madden League. Shout out to everybody that's in the Madden League. It's huge shout out. Who runs the Madden League? Why not Black
it
Knight?
Dark Knight? Is it Dark Knight?
I know, I'm like Black Knight, Dark Knight. It's Dark Knight. Sorry, Dark Knight. I forgot your gamer tag there for a second. Dark Knight does a fabulous job running the Madden League. If anybody would like to run the MLB The Show League, comes out in April, let us know and we can run it. We'll set up a channel in there. I'll tell you what, for baseball, it would be intense. It would be it'll be all about making trades and it's so exciting.
It would be Moneyball, the
It'd
movie.
be Moneyball.
Yeah. Brad Pitt's
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Moneyball the movie. We got a couple seasons that dropped that
Not
we
just
want
a
to talk
couple.
about.
I think every season in the world started this week.
Yeah.
So we had Sea of Thieves Season 1, which we already talked about.
Let's talk about Apex first.
We have
And Rogue Company real quick.
Rogue Company. We have
Yeah.
Rogue Company, which I actually think this is actually very exciting. So if you haven't played Rogue Company, it's a third-person tactical. Well, I don't know if you'd call it tactical. It's a third-person
Arena.
Yeah, I guess it is tactical. Third-person tactical strategic arena shooter.
Yeah.
It's basically Counter-Strike in third person, which is really cool and really fun. So they came out with this is their first season. So season 1, 50-tier battle pass, which you can do a paid version or the free version. The paid version gives you everything. The free version, just like any other battle pass, you get so many things throughout the 50 tiers. New rogue, Kestrel, which is really cool. And then they have a new ranked. Ranked has been there, but they've kind of revamped it a little. A new ranked season. Their ranked season seems like it's very similar to Apex's ranked, where you work your way up from bronze, silver, gold, diamond, all the way up to the top. You do have 10 placement matches that you have to play, and then it'll put you in one of the leagues, and then you go up and down from there. But Rogue Company Season 1, again, their first season, they do have some pretty cool stuff in the Battle Pass, but very exciting.
Rogue versus Valorant.
Well, they're different because Valorant's really fun too.
They're different because Valorant's fun.
No. Rogue Company's fun. They're different because they're in one's third person, one's first person, right? I mean, that
Yeah,
actually.
but is there a preference there for you?
I like them both a lot.
Spicy, you played them both?
Yeah. I like them both, but I'm playing other games right now. I'm in between those games, right? Yeah. They're good. I mean, they're really good. I actually prefer third person just because I like to see my outfits.
See your
Yeah.
character.
Sounds really
Well,
stupid,
and that's where.
but I like to see what I get, right?
Yeah, and that's where I think a battle pass or seasons in Rogue Company does really well because you're always in third person, so you can see
Yeah.
all your cool outfits, right?
Yeah.
Whereas even in Sea of Thieves, You're in first person, even though you're getting a cool outfit. You're not necessarily seeing it all the time.
Everyone else can see you.
Yeah,
but
everybody
not
else.
you.
Yeah, not you. Yeah. So anyway, so very cool. That is available now. Every like I said, every season started this week, and then we have Apex Season 8. A lot of big changes. So
we got Fuse.
We got Fuse, and we have his official abilities. We went over them a couple weeks ago, and they were kind of the data mined abilities, but these are the official abilities.
It seems like they were accurate.
Yeah, they were pretty close. The ultimate was a little off, but they were pretty close. So, new legend Fuse. His passive is stack an extra grenade per inventory slot, fires grenades further, faster, and more accurately. So that's his passive. Now, his passive, I think, is really good because it's an extra grenade per inventory slot. So you can have a lot of extra grenades.
You could just be a grenade machine.
You could be a grenade machine, which is really cool. His tactical is the knuckle cluster, which is he shoots a cluster bomb off of his arm, which we knew from before as well. The ultimate is the mother load. This is where it's a little bit different. So the ultimate is called the Mother Load. He launches a bombardment that encircles the target area with walls of flames. So when it was data mined, it sounded like basically the bomb would explode and spread the flames. What happens is you actually shoot something into the air, it blows up, and then the flames circle an area. So they don't like expand in an area; they immediately go down to like a perimeter, if that makes sense. So you can trap people within it.
So it's like a zoning ability, right?
Yes,
you
correct.
can zone people in certain areas, maybe split up a team in half.
You can run through those flames, but you're going to take damage.
You can run through the flames, but you're going to take damage, and you take quite a bit of damage from when I was trying it out.
That would make sense, because if you didn't, then that ability
would make sense. So you can combo it with, say, I don't know, a Gibraltar ultimate or something like that, or a Bangalore.
Well, that's
ultimate,
interesting
right?
because you could also use it as a defensive mechanism.
No, sure, yeah. I mean, it's a zoning ability, right?
Yeah.
So you can zone to retreat, zone to push.
That's cool.
Zone to split. You zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
no,
cool.
it's really cool. So his kit is really fun. I've played him a few rounds. Really, really fun. I actually like him a lot. I think I'm not a huge fan of like the banners at the beginning where it shows like your character. He actually has a couple really cool ones that are worth getting because I think it's just his character personality.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to play with the new weapon?
Yes. So there's a new weapon, the 30-30 repeater,
which is like the Western under rifle.
I haven't gone into the training and like done the numbers for it. It seems pretty okay. Although my headshots may be a little off, so I mean, if I hit my headshots, they might be a little better. It seems like it can take down someone, like if it's just their health, in about 2 shots to the head, 3 shots to the body. From what I can tell, like I said, I haven't gone in and tested the numbers in the actual firing range. I've just used it in game. So if a person has no shields, base health, I feel like it's 2 shots to the head to kill them, about 3 shots to the body. Again, I may be missing some of those shots, so that's just like a rough estimate. But it's a cool weapon. I'll be interested to take it into the firing range and see the actual numbers on it, especially against like higher end shields, how well it does, headshot, body shot, distance, stuff like that. But it is a freaking cool weapon. I mean, it's a repeater. It's a 30-30 repeater.
And how about the change to the map?
Yeah, so the map has changed. Sections of Kings Canyon.
No big deal?
Yeah, I haven't really noticed. I don't think I've really played in those areas yet. I haven't noticed a ton of the changes, although I didn't really play Kings Canyons a lot before because I preferred World's Edge. So I just usually waited till World's Edge was up on rotation and then did that one. But new map changes. Hopefully we'll get to dive into that a little bit more this week as we play. But
overall,
so far, it's really fun.
Fuse, his trailer was cool.
Yeah,
He's got a cool personality.
They did add a new item called Legendary Magazines, which I think you may not think it's super impressive just by hearing what it does, but I actually think it's going to change. I don't know. I think it's going to change the meta a little bit. So what a Legendary Magazine is it's a gold magazine for your gun. It's the same ammo capacity as a purple magazine, but what it does is it auto reloads a holstered weapon. So let's say I have a gun, I shoot it dry, I swap to my other gun. After I think it's about 5 seconds or so. I think it's about 5 seconds exactly of that gun being holstered. It auto reloads. So
it's
interesting.
Really strong.
Yeah. Well, I think it can be used very strategic because I can mag dump with, let's say, a Spitfire, which already has 35 rounds in it, or I don't know what the purple. Let's just say 35. I know it's probably wrong, but let's say 35. So mag dump 35 rounds, swap to my, let's say, R301. Continue firing, and then that runs dry. If it was within that 5 seconds, which it probably will be, swap back to my Spitfire, which is another
Just
35 rounds.
nonstop
So I think
fire.
So I actually really like it.
It increases your DPS by a lot because there's no downtime. You're just firing bullets.
Yeah. Now, I think it all depends on what guns you have paired together. Because let's say you have a Spitfire and then you have an R99, which can unload a magazine in like half a second.
Yeah, but you're shooting at the sky.
Yeah, and it may not be. I think it all depends on what you have it paired with. I don't, because you do have to have it holstered for, I believe it's about 5 seconds, and then it'll auto reload. But that being said, I still think that is a very interesting mechanic, and I think it can be used in very interesting ways. Like you guys said, you can have just straight DPS going on for a long time.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very
which
cool.
is really cool, and it's not too hard to find. I played about let's say 5 to 8 matches. I feel like I found one maybe every other match. So they're not uncommon. They're not like everywhere, but it's gettable, I guess. It's not a super rare item. I feel like I found one maybe about every other match or so.
The last season pass that dropped that we're going to talk about today is Vigor.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan specifically put this in here and said, I have thoughts.
I do.
And so I want to hear your thoughts on
I have
Season 7. It just dropped for Vigor.
I have good thoughts, and I have not so good thoughts. No, I don't think the game's in a bad state or anything like that. I still think the game's in a decent state. I think it was in a better state last season because of some of the features they added. But I do like the Battle Pass. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't think it's, terrible. So we get the new Battle Pass, which is another 50 tiers. And again, it's all subjective. There is actually a really cool helmet that I want to get in this one. It kind of reminds me of like a World War II helmet. Anyway, one of the changes is we got the 3 new weapons. And I just one of the weapons is called the Lashive or the
Chive.
The Chive.
Dude.
I think that's a good nickname.
That is a good nickname.
You got the Chive?
Get the Chive?
Yeah, bringing in the
It's
Chive.
an OP shot. It's the most powerful shotgun.
Which is nice.
There
I
is
feel
no
like
question.
I feel like this Battle Pass, I feel like there was a lot of, I think you said it pretty well in one of your, there's a lot of good ideas that I don't think were implemented the best way. That's how I feel this Battle Pass was, or this season is so far. I feel like there's a lot of good ideas, and not all of them were implemented the best.
Sure, the weapons for me are the biggest part of this season.
Well, that Lachive I'm going to say it. It bends people over.
It slaps. It slaps hard.
Yeah, it does.
It's 8.
You'll like it.
It's 8 rounds, and you can just go, bow, 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 bow.
Of hard-hitting slaps.
Yeah, hard-hitting facial
well,
slaps.
it is the best shotgun in the game right now, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because of that.
Which is nice, because I feel like there hasn't been a lot of shotgun running around lately, right?
Yeah.
I do like the new pistol, though.
Pistol whippage. Oh, it's a 3-shot burst.
Yeah.
But it's basically that Call of Duty Beretta.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Which
They can't use that name, though, because they don't own the licensing rights.
And then
They
there
don't
was
pay for it.
the M60, the big machine gun.
Big boy.
I've not used that one yet.
I'm not a fan of any of the machine guns. There's too much kick, but that one is probably the best one. One of the best ones.
Cool. Very cool.
So give me your thoughts, though. What are your statements?
So the shotgun's really cool. The pistol's cool. The shotgun, I think, is the best out of the 3 weapons, given I haven't used the third weapon yet. Anyway, jumping into the new features. So they have new extract requirements, which I actually do like. So the extract requirements, when you go into a match, there are, and it feels like it's random, actually, because some matches, all the extracts were open. Other matches, some were locked, right? I almost wish it was more permanent. But anyway, so you jump into a match and you extract. When, at certain extracts, let's say like a pier, it may require 5 gasoline to get out.
Yeah.
So certain extracts,
They lock.
they're locked now behind a paywall of certain things, right? I think this is actually a really good idea. I do like this. So then you can't just, you have to almost strategically think of what extract you're going to take. I wish they weren't random, though. I wish they were more permanent.
I think every exit should be locked.
I don't know about every exit.
On every map. Because the randomness, no, I'll jump into the same map 2 times in a row, and every exit will be wide open sometimes.
Oh, yeah, no, and that's my problem. I wish it was permanent, saying, like, for example, let's take Battery, a map we all know, right? It has, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 extracts?
Yeah.
I went in on that map. All of them were open. I went in again. 2 of them were locked. You know what I mean? I wish it was fixed. Like, let's make 3 of them always locked. And I don't want the requirements changing. 3 of them always locked, and they always cost this.
I agree with Jordan. That's more like a Tarkov thing.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it works because you go, oh, I can't go here because I need this.
I don't have fuel
I don't,
in this case, or I can't go here because I don't have metal parts.
So now it'll force you to go figure out another way to figure,
But
you always have that. If you're you're looting and you're going, oh, I have fuel. That means I can now go to here.
Mm-hmm.
It unlocks that in your brain.
Now, I haven't tested, David. Maybe you have on the map. What is it? It's one of my. I think it's Sawmill, but it's not called Sawmill. You know which map I'm talking about? On that map,
Sendusk or whatever.
yeah. On that map, there's a boat that you can extract from, and it costs 5 fuel. I don't know if that actually already always costs 5 fuel,
Some
or if
of them
it's,
are permanent.
Okay, see, I like that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I don't. I wish it wasn't random when you load it into the match.
So the intent of this, in my mind, Spicy, you could correct me if you think I'm wrong here. The intent of implementing a mechanic like this, like Jordan said, is to keep players in the match longer. So it means players must have been leaving soon, correct? Am I wrong in assuming that?
No, yeah, it's trying to promote PvP, which
Correct.
is what this game is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's trying to promote
I
PvP.
think a better way to do it would just be to have it on a timer.
Exactly.
You can't leave until because there's always a wolf howling. Just make that the time signal. Make
2
it
minutes.
Maybe halfway through the match.
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Let's say it's a 13-minute match. Make it at the 6-minute mark.
I think that's exactly right. And that's how I feel this patch is. Oh, this is a good idea. A better way to do it would be, and I feel like that's how this season has been for me so far.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think they should make some type of requirement to extract.
Well, doesn't Tarkov do that? Don't they punish you for extracting too soon?
Exactly. It's called a run through. They have multiple requirements. I don't know the loot requirements, but I know it's at least 10 minutes.
There's an XP requirement and a time requirement. It's 10 minutes. If you're in the match for 10 minutes, you can leave, and you don't get a run through. If you get a run through, you can't sell your stuff to everybody. That's the punishment. You basically get a lot less money for your loot. The other requirement is XP. You get XP by eating, you get XP by killing things, and you get XP by looting and going distances, like going across the map. You hit a certain threshold, then the 10 minutes doesn't matter because you're playing the game. They basically want you to play the game. They want you to look for loot, and they want you to kill people.
I do think Vigor's in a tricky situation because you've got to remain separated. That you can't just copy Tarkov.
Well, and I don't think they are Tarkov or need to be Tarkov.
No, and they don't want to be.
Exactly, and that's fine. But like you said, I feel like there's better ways.
Tarkov
to do
has
things.
done better mechanics with that stuff for sure.
And it doesn't mean that they don't have to be Tarkov to have it make sense. To put a timer. Like, it's a good idea. Implement it. You're not copying.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's not the game.
The other thing is the camping in this.
That I 100%
thing.
disagree with and do not like what they did at all.
So it's basically not changed the game at all. It's a 2-minute. If you're sitting still for 2 minutes, you just get mortar striked, which to me I feel like is almost a way to appease. I'll be honest. This is an Xbox show. It's to appease. We're watching gameplay right now. This is a PlayStation player. It's to appease PlayStation fans. I really believe that
because they're new.
Because they're new into the game.
Because it just released on PlayStation.
Just released last season.
Not because PlayStation.
Yeah, not because of that.
It's
they're
because
anti-capping community.
It's because they're new to this game.
They're new to this game and
style of game.
There's so many complaints about camping, and yet I refuse. I don't see where camping benefits you at all in this game. It doesn't. You actually, you get a chance of sitting still all game and maybe getting a guy that has a ton of loot, and then you win. Maybe that's so inefficient. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And so camping was not an issue. Number one. Number two, by taking away the ability to sit still and camp, if someone so chooses, really takes away the threat of someone camping at a point of interest. Which is what this game is.
What if you get rid of camping, you automatically, and people can disagree with me, but you automatically devalue snipers. Like there's not, if you can't camp, in my opinion, there's not a point to bring in a sniper.
I mean, I snipe, but I'm not. Well, and it's so easy to do. You just got to move slowly, bush to bush, anyways, which is what I do.
I just don't know why it's a feature. So in their patch notes,
I feel
this is what got me mad. Is in their patch notes they said, and if the players have the audacity, whatever that word is, audacity to camp, and I was like,
they're gonna get striked.
That made me think, okay, let me get this straight.
It's an appeasement. I think it's an appeasement move.
I think it's either yours or one of the developers got camped and now they had to
they were pissed.
And I think that's what happened. I feel like that's usually what happens when things change.
Because I'll tell you a great mechanic was exit camping. Camping is always the thing. Yes. They implemented crows. So if in a radius, if you enter an exit or you're getting close to an exit and someone else is in that area, crows will fly up.
Yeah.
Much better mechanic. It makes it so that you can still camp exit.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have an advantage over someone because you maybe can see them, but it makes that person aware. This doesn't fix camping, number one, and number two, camping's not an issue to begin with.
Yeah. Well, what frustrates me about this one is I think the crows are good because it just lets you know that someone's within that extract, right? Which you can basically counter that by just camping outside the extract and looking at it. But anyway,
overall, it's a solid season.
I like that it. Well, that change. So the crow change is fine because it lets you know there's someone camping the extract without giving away their position.
It doesn't punish you for
the
camping.
mortar strike. The reason it frustrates me is not only does it devalue camping, which again I'm not a camper. It's not necessarily my play style, but I'm not against people that are doing it. It discourages camping, which I think devalues snipers, right? In addition to that, it gives away their position, and in these types of game, positioning is everything. If you know where someone's at, you have a huge advantage over them.
Yeah, huge.
And it mortars them, so it makes them weaker. So everybody goes, "Oh, Jeff's over here camping. He's already at half health. Let's go run and shoot him." I really don't like that mechanic.
So overall, what do you think of Season 7 of Vigor?
I think it's good.
We're like hammering it.
Well, no,
we're like those
there's
reviews that hammer the game and then
it's
good.
It's a perfect. No, I don't think it's as good as Season 6. I think it's a decent season, if you will, right? There is a couple other features. What was I feel like there was one more I was going to touch on. Was there any more? Because there was the new extract, which I really like.
That was good. You got everything.
Anyway, I think it's a decent season. I really don't like that camping mechanic. I think it, like I said, I think it devalues snipers. I think it gives away people's position in a game where positioning is everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is how I look at it. All right, and you guys can agree with me or disagree with me. They wanted to put in an anti-camping mechanic, right?
I think they wanted to do it just to say that they had done it.
Yeah, they want to put in an anti-camping mechanic. The way I look at it, when I jump into a round, I am the anti-camping mechanic. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You know, that's how I look at it in Tarkov. That's how I look at it in Vigor. Because like we talked about a few weeks ago, you start to learn, they're going to camp here. I'll check that. We're good. You know,
we need to make that a t-shirt.
Yeah. You don't need an anti-camping mechanic. I am the anti-camping
mechanic. So that is hilarious.
But overall, I do think other than that change and maybe a few tweaks to the extract, not making them random.
I think this season is a season of behind the scenes.
Yeah, they did do a lot of back-end stuff, server stability.
And I think they're trying to work on that. And I think they're prepping to bring this to PC, which in its current state, I think it's going to get destroyed by PC players. Here is why. So right now, the guns. Number one, I think there's way too many guns. There's like over 60 guns. Way too many. For instance, 5 shotguns. All of them do the exact same thing except for one.
Well, 5 shotguns and only one's viable.
And only one is viable. They have that with almost every gun class. So why have that gun class? Number two, I think the reason that it would get destroyed by hardcore PC players, like let's say a Dr. Disrespect plays this or a Shroud, I can snipe in its correct. Right, this person's running with an AKM or V58 actually, 2 VZ58s. Right now, sniping is broken. You can snipe with a VZ58. You can snipe with. Last night I was streaming. I had a bugle. I'm hitting people from across the map because one random headshot gets them. So why not just burst instead of zoom into a sniper and do it? They need to balance their guns. That's my biggest complaint.
Need to have
and balance them in a way
damage drop off.
Yeah, damage drop off on bullets for certain weapons.
Exactly. Exactly. And right now, the end of season 6, I'm in matches playing specifically as a sniper. and you're getting you're getting competed with an AKM which has no scope from 300 meters away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's unbound. They need to fix their gun mechanics with that respect, and that hasn't existed before. So I don't know what they did, but all of a sudden everybody's rolling with really cheap weapons and just dominating. And the weapons, the upgraded weapons, is the incentive to play the game.
Yeah. Well, because what you're saying, I mean, I
So
get
like imagine a Shroud. They'll play this for 2 seconds, be like, "I'm done. This is stupid."
Or they'll dominate.
Or they'll dominate with a no, because it's random. It's not. What I'm saying is, there's not skill to the weapons, and it's so easy. The other day, I was in a match with a guy trying to snipe in. He had this exact same weapon, the VZ58. He's up on a hill doing circles, and while he's doing circles, he's firing at me, headshotting me. That's an instant kill from 300 meters away. That is ridiculous.
On a weapon that's not designed to do that.
On a weapon that's not designed to do it, not even taking time to aim. Like, there's too many ways to game it.
Well, do you know what's funny? I kind of want to play this now.
What you're saying to me is appealing.
Because, it's like Happy Gilmore. The sad thing is you've been playing this game your whole life. I can go in with just a crappy gun and have a good time.
That is funny.
Do you think they're going to eventually bring it to PC?
Yeah.
Have they
they're
talked
prepping
about
it? No,
Yeah.
no, but there's some things happening that I think indicates they're bringing it to PC.
It'll be really interesting when it comes to PC, and I'm going to say something that may be controversial, but it's correct.
Controversial
and
point.
But it's correct.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can disagree with me, but
you're wrong.
But it's correct. What I'm about to say is this game has very, I don't want to say punishing, but very interesting recoil mechanics, and it is a lot easier to control recoil on a mouse than it is a controller.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to be really interested to see if they do crossplay with the PC or not, and how they, if they even,
well,
I mean, how they.
You're already.
I mean, it's very. It's going to be interesting.
You're already dealing with it because I believe that you can hook up mouse and keyboard
on the
to
PlayStation
this game, anyways.
Oh, okay.
So
They enabled that?
I don't think they enabled it, but I'm 99.9% sure that
But there's cheaters.
There's a workaround. The guy that was spinning on me had that workaround.
It's a
it's
a $500 black market device.
I've been watching Reddit.
I've seen those devices.
I've been watching Reddit videos on basically you can connect your mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
into
Which
it,
I mean,
so,
why don't they just allow it at this point, right?
yeah, and
But
control.
no,
it.
I mean, I don't.
No.
Anyways, I enjoy it. It's pretty solid, but there are some glaring issues that need to be fixed. For
No,
sure.
I think it's a decent season. I think season 6 was better, and I mean, not every season can be perfect, right? It's a part of game development. But that being said, I am excited to rank up the 50 levels again,
yeah,
like we did. It's always fun to have a nice little reset.
Yeah. That brings us, guys, to the last segment of our show.
No, we have one more big story, like probably the biggest of the week.
Oh yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Mass Effect Legendary Edition is launching May 14th.
May 14th.
That's not too far away.
Yeah.
I'm actually personally really excited for this because the only Mass Effect I have played is Andromeda. And although I don't think Andromeda is a bad game, I feel like Andromeda lost its honeymoon phase fairly quickly and just kind of became really repetitive after about 4 hours or so. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad game. I just don't think it's the best. So I'm excited to play the original trilogy because everybody says it's awesome.
Because you can play as Commander Shepard.
How many hours is the full trilogy?
Oh, the full trilogy?
When you're counting in, this is coming with all the DLCs too.
We're talking like 400 hours here
Per game.
Probably 120. And check and correct me, but my brain is telling me like 40 hours basically per game.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
And,
Not too bad.
And Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but what's cool about Mass Effect is each game connects with each other. So what you've done in 1 affects what happens in 2.
Correct.
What you've done in 2 affects what
Yes.
happens in 3.
Very much so. And this is one of the first games that did that.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting.
Because you make very significant choices on who lives and who dies in very specific scenarios.
I like that.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of things have consequences in this game. And there's going to be a lot of game saves.
There you go. Over 40 DLCs, which,
Wow.
yeah, I mean,
I
let's be honest. I'm sure 35 of those are worthless.
Yeah,
That's usually how it
there's
goes.
so many. We're watching the trailers. We're talking. There's so many great moments in this game.
It's going to be
cool.
exciting. And it's probably, it's nice that it's coming out because it's leading up to the new Mass Effect 4 that'll eventually come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, very exciting. May 14th.
Beast in chat says there is one DLC that is corrupted and no one has a working version of it. He forgets the name of the DLC, but all the companies involved in its development only have the corrupted version. Wow.
You think they're going to put it
That's crazy. They could just redo it.
No, just put it in there.
Put it in as corrupted.
That's interesting, man. I want to look that up.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
And that
That's
brings us to the last segment of our show.
Yes. There you go.
This is where we take your questions, answer your questions, make sweet, sweet love to your questions as we answer them. To submit a question, you can do so each and every single week over on YouTube, youtube.com/XoneBros, and go to the community tab. Let's go to Brian F. He says, "Hey, bros, we got news that not only is the show coming to Xbox, but we're also getting a new college football game too. That said, growing up, what were your favorite sports games to play, and why?" Let's start with Spicy.
Yeah, FIFA. On the SNES.
The
I really enjoyed
Fiefsta.
that. Actually, there's several. There's Hit the Ice on the original NES. I love that game.
Base Wars. Is that one of yours?
What's that?
Base Wars? Did you ever play Base Wars?
No.
Oh, never mind. It's like robot baseball. It's great.
That sounds like a good time.
Let's play fun. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Hit the Ice, NFL Hit the Ice, because that was half hockey, half Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Because you'd pick a fight and then it would go into this like scene, boom, boom, you know. I loved World Cup soccer, Super World Cup, I believe it was called. And there was a strategy. You would always just pass it forward and then flip it up and press both buttons on the Nintendo, and you'd do a bicycle kick. And the ball would go, go right to the goal. Do racing games count?
Yeah, that is a sport.
Yeah, sports/racing, yeah.
Okay. Can I just say Top Gear 3000, I think, was one of my favorite games of all time.
Very good.
But was it 3000 or 2000? I'm pretty sure it's called 3000.
What's the off-road Super Nintendo, bird's eye view, monster trucks? Remember that game? I think it was
rock
off-road.
and roll racing.
Rock and Roll Racing is a fantastic game.
No, it was off-road something.
That was a
Monster
Blizzard
Jam?
game, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rock and Roll Racing. That was one of their first games. Love that game.
Super off-road. Yes, Brian F. Super off-road. That is
And
awesome.
then there's,
Bike.
I think, wasn't there a Super Off-Road Baja edition?
Yeah, and you could like, super jet your car and pew, 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 over the things.
See, any
Very
other
cool.
sports games? I loved, as far as an actual sports game that I got into pretty deep, it was one of the original EA FIFA games on the Super Nintendo. I actually bought, when I was a kid, so this was important to me because money was rare, I bought the dongle that made the Super Nintendo go up to 5
Expansion?
players.
Yeah.
Is it 5? Yeah, because it would expand it, and then you could plug in all your controllers specifically for FIFA. Because I love that game.
Yeah. Jordan,
Yeah.
how about you? Sports games.
Oh man. There's
NBA Jam. Chat just
yeah,
mentioned NBA
NBA Jam was a good one on the Super Nintendo. Tennis.
Rejected by
Remember-
the
you
Oh,
remember-
Mario Tennis.
Virtua Tennis.
Yeah, Mario Tennis, but
Mario
I think it was on the
Tennis.
Dreamcast. Was it
Virtua
Virtua? Yeah,
Tennis.
Virtua Tennis.
That's a good game.
That was good. You could play it on
Tennis
the
is
memory
great
card.
because it's just AB.
Yeah.
AB.
Lob,
AB placement.
spike. You know, it's
Lob. hit,
Not if
lob,
you're
hit.
Wario.
you
If
just
you're
stand up by
Wario,
the
you
net.
just go. We had to outlaw. He was the odd job of Mario Tennis because we had to outlaw him because he was so tall and he just stand right in front of the net.
You know what we need now? Pickleball game.
Pickleball, volleyball, volleyball. Okay, so if we're actually
Frisbee
counting
golf.
racing games as sports, and I don't know if you'll count this one or not, but I played this a lot on the original Xbox, and that was the Midnight Clubs.
Oh
Those
yes,
are fun.
good call.
Those were
are fun.
like those were.
Those are fun.
Rockstar should bring that game back.
In chat, Brian F is saying Blitz and Roger Clemens MVP baseball.
Yeah.
Welcome home, said NBA Jam.
Blitz was fun because
Yeah.
you could shoot steroids into your players.
Brother Buddha says Blitz the league.
They would be like, "Do you want to heal them or get them back in the game? You're like, juice them up, baby."
Psychotic says NFL Street, and I agree. NBA Street #2 was amazing.
And
That's
the street
amazing.
games were really fun.
And a game that I'm very excited that is coming to Xbox. That was one of my favorite sports games of all time. I would spend hours hot seating this game with my friends. But Football Manager, love that game.
Oh yeah,
love
Football
that
Manager,
game.
yeah.
You don't have to hot seat it anymore.
I think NFL or I think NBA Street was so good is because it was basically NBA Jam
it was NBA Jam,
just on the street.
and but then they had unique style, and you
Yeah.
could unlock outfits and stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool.
They-
I never played NFL Street. It didn't seem as appealing to me as
Yeah.
NBA Street, but
Yeah. MLB Slugfest as well, says Brother Buddha. Very good. Great question. Thank you very much, Brian F., for writing in. Reactor Leak writes in and says, with Sony allowing MLB The Show to be released on Xbox, do you think this could give other currently exclusive PlayStation titles some leverage to request the same deal? My short answer, and then I'll go to Spicy. Tell me what you think. My short answer is no. And the reason of that is the MLB controls everything. It would be the same if Madden was exclusive to Xbox. The NFL holds all the power there, or FIFA, or whatever governing body there. I think MLB holds all the power to that specific game because of licensing deals. I think it's highly unlikely that we see anything else like that happen with other Sony.
No, I agree.
Games
It's the same concept as Bethesda, just in reverse. Sony doesn't take all that time and investment to share their toys.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Same as Bethesda. Microsoft's not buying Bethesda to share their toys, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just how
so
it is.
they were forced because MLB came in and said, we'll give your license to someone else.
And they're like, okay, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Okay.
hey,
Whoa,
hey,
let's not jump to any rash decisions here.
Sit back down. We got drinks coming. Relax.
Spicy, agree with our analysis there? Yeah, I think it's just you're dealing with a heavy hitter there.
I see what you did there. That was really good.
Great question, Reactor Leak. Next question comes from Blake, the Barber Blake. He says, all right, guys, Season 1 has breathed new life into Sea of Thieves for me. So my question is this. When are all three of you going to stream that game together? I love watching Sea of Thieves streams of other gamers, and the chemistry you guys have is perfect for a game like this. Seriously, I think it would be popular if you guys did it. May the wind always be at your back. Barber Blake. So we do have couch casts.
Yeah,
we got one coming up.
We have to do one coming up. We could do Sea of Thieves. We got to discuss it. That's definitely an option. And that's the type of game that is really fun.
The last time we all streamed together a game, wasn't it like Minecraft Dungeons, which was a good time?
Minecraft
Dungeons. So I Sea of Thieves would be another good one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, would that be a couch cast? Because we're not actually on our couch.
Oh, I think it can.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
consider it.
Xbox Live is the virtual couch.
It's
virtual
true.
couch.
It's very true.
We'll put an overlay of a couch. It's like sitting there.
Just give me all your webcams and I'll make it happen.
Our bobblehead. Barber Blake, thank you very much. Great suggestion. Yeah. Stay tuned. Captain Obvious says, do you guys think we will see Mass Effect remastered specifically for the Series X?
I think you will see it for next-gen hardware, PC included.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean by that is Xbox goes PC and Xbox consoles now hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a both.
So you think it'll be like higher fidelity assets specifically for the Series X and PC?
It'll be like Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
On the Xbox Series X, it'll be Ultra, and then it'll be up to Ultra on the PC.
Jordan, you think?
I think that's basically it. I don't think they're going to put that time and effort into it to completely do a specific Series X version. I think it's just going to be basically, hey, here's the version. This version, the PC and the Series X can run in 4K, which we already do know we're getting a 4K remaster. Can run in 4K, whereas some of these older versions of the game can only run in such and such resolution, right? I don't think they're putting the time. I don't think they're putting the resources into the game to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I won't say that. But anyway, go. Yeah, I don't think
his filter kicked in.
Yeah, I won't start anything. But yeah, I don't think they're putting the time and money to do that. I think they're just remastering it to get people.
Are you not impressed with the remaster? You seem pretty down on it.
No, I'm excited for it. There's just been a lot of controversy around this game this past week that I find pretty funny, and I think
the lens flares.
Well, not just that. There's something about people's bottoms
because of. There's ass shots they're taking out, basically, because it's you're sexualizing them or something. So they've decided to remove.
Have they never played the originals?
They've decided to remove the ass shots. That's a summary. That's a Cliff Notes version of it.
But anyway, it's this huge thing. I mean, gamers. Some people are mad because they're changing the original. Other people are mad because the people. First of all, I don't know why they're going through the time and effort to remove it.
Just do what Disney does and put a thing at the beginning that says
there may be ass.
You might be offended by the ass shots.
Well, because it's like, in my opinion, is okay. That's why my answer to this question is that I don't think there's going to be a remastered version for the Series X because obviously their time and money is being spent on removing the butt shots,
ass shots.
Sorry, yeah, which I don't. It's just like, it's like okay. Well, and first of all, I have this whole thing. Okay, since we've talked about it, let's get into it.
He says, I guess these people don't watch anime.
Yeah, I mean, first of all,
well, I think people complaining. Okay, do I think it's a fair complaint? I guess it could be a fair complaint. Do I think it's stupid to remove it? I do. Yeah. I think just remaster it in its original thing. If you're concerned about offending people, I really would just do
I would get out of this industry.
Do the thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's alien ass at that.
Well, I guess it's a character named Miranda, and I've seen the screenshots. Wow.
Whoa,
Miranda. Hey.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Spicy made sweet love to her.
But I'm telling you.
Because of those shots.
She was one of the most difficult ones to woo.
In his first playthrough, he made sweet, sweet love to her.
I still have the game saved.
No. Well, it's the same with...
You know what they could do, which would be hilarious? Do what like Grounded does. If you want it to be something, they switch it to like puffy clouds or something. You know, like Grounded does with spiders.
They have that would be
hilarious.
The butt slider.
The butt slider, yeah.
No, I think that's why we're not going to get a specific remastered for Series X because obviously their time and effort is being spent elsewhere. That and lens flares, which I do think is funny too.
That's so interesting. They're removing it because it was like, was it highly sexual or something, right? Or is like
I don't know
because her character is supposed to be a very attractive person on purpose to be like to get in and assassinate and that's her character. It's like Widowmaker, on Overwatch. That character is supposed to be highly intriguing, highly, just attractive on purpose. Well, I don't understand. That's like counterintuitive to the character progression in that game.
Well,
the character is in that game. I don't get it. Well, so Matt Ballsy says, "Isn't she like an android?" I'm not going to get any spoilers.
Well, they're removing like other like same. It says same here. They're also saying they're removing same-sex cutscenes to avoid controversy. Just leave it all.
Yeah, just leave it in there.
Leave it in. If you could do it in the original game, that's what I want to play. Yeah. I want to have the original experience.
Leave it as is. I mean, people. So
if it's also a game that banks on decisions, like I can make any decision and there's consequences.
Yeah.
I want to have those options.
Yeah. And okay, as referring to the
ass,
yeah, the way I look at it,
genetically enhanced to have that ass, like that's part of her character.
It makes
she
sense.
Actually says that I've been genetically enhanced to have this bad boy, right? Like that's her character. I don't get. Well,
I think it's controversy from people who don't play games. Well, really.
So the people who aren't going to buy your games anyway.
You probably.
Well, what's funny is like, why is this a thing? Like, it's like, okay, well, she has a nice butt. I mean, so does Shepard.
Shepard.
I mean, what's
what? That's very true.
This is what I want to know.
That's very true.
Well, I'm talking male and female Shepard. They have very nice
features.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, you can't just wear that suit and look not good, But anyway, basically, what this whole week I was confused is like, well, when did the world stop liking butt? I mean.
It was like, I think it was 2017.
Oh, is that what it happened? I was like,
I'm pretty sure that was the year.
I don't understand. Like
whether there's a lot of things, I think that was the year.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. People can get mad at me, but whether you're a guy or a girl, everyone likes a nice butt. I mean, that's just how it is.
No, I'm not mad at you for that.
Yeah, I when did that stop?
2017.
How did we go down those rabbit holes?
That's what the gaming industry is revolved around this week, and it blows my mind because it's like
all the Mass Effect controversy. That is kind of non-controversy.
Yeah, at least the lens flare has some type of clout.
It's funny.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, it's going back to the original question. That's why I don't think there's going to be a specific Series X version because obviously their time and effort is spent on what would you call it? De-assing the game.
Dassing.
There you go.
And removing love scenes.
Which, I mean, at that point, like, why stop there? Like, oh, that alien, I don't know. I mean, you could really, it's just weird. Like,
There's definitely very specific aliens in that game that I don't want to see their butt. Like the rock dude. I don't know.
Yeah, well, why not though?
Yeah, I've seen.
I bet you that guy's got some.
I've seen the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just saying, like, Miranda, of all the ones to see, that one should be the one promoted.
Great question, Captain Obvious. Sorry we went off on a huge tangent.
Yeah. Look, to me, it's just like, who cares? Why are you changing that? Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't want anything changed in any original game. Just keep it.
I mean, some people. Well, the argument that's come up this week is like, well, they changed stuff in Final Fantasy Remake, which yes, they did.
Yeah, but they changed the whole game.
Yeah, the thing is, and they did make one sexual change that I also thought was pointless as well.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, but anyway.
Anubis, not Anubis. Chris BD writes in and says, do you think Microsoft would have released Halo last year if there was not so much outcry about it? That's actually a really good question. I don't think so. And part of the reason that I was a little bit angry about the way that Microsoft handled Halo is I don't think they had an intention of releasing it. I think they knew where it was at when they showed us what they showed us at the preview. And they knew it was going to be delayed. I don't think that there was a chance of it releasing last year.
See, I'm upset because of the opposite of that. I do think they would have released it.
Oh.
And then they got all the backlash and were like, okay, fine, we'll fix things. And I just think the whole thing was mishandled because, like I said, if you know it's not ready, you shouldn't release it.
Yeah.
And they knew. Come on, you're what, 2 weeks out? 4 weeks out? Come on, you know at that point that it's not ready.
Well, but
it's just like Cyberpunk. They knew it wasn't ready.
I think they knew they wanted to keep the hype for that show on Halo Infinite, and I think that was a PR mistake.
Yeah.
Spicy.
I just want the game ready. I've said that a million times.
Amen, brother.
And if they take out Master Chief's bottom, so help me, I will lose it.
I know, because we've all wanted to see that.
Well, who they remove is Cortana's.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Her digital.
Well, yeah. What was it like? Reach.
Her digit
That's
sets.
when it got really good.
And you're like, wow, the graphics are.
Whoa! Cortana's been upgraded.
Yeah.
Great question, Chris BD. Thank you very much for writing that. Well, our last question comes from Anubis, and he wants to know: are demos back? He says, I feel like launches of Anthem, Fallout 76, and Cyberpunk have shaken the trust of gamers, and I have noticed an influx of demos lately. Demos have been few and far between, I feel like, for the better part of this last generation, but we had a bunch in lieu of E3, and just this year we had some demos for Balan Wonderland, Little Nightmares 2, Outriders, Fuser, and he says, I'm forgetting some. So my question to you, bros, is do you agree demos are back, or have they always stuck around and I'm just crazy? Also, is the increase due to shaky AAA launches or something else, perhaps COVID? So I think Spicy, why don't you tackle this one first? What are your thoughts on demos?
I think demos were renamed to beta testing.
I agree with that.
I think that's what it is now. It's beta testing. So, and it gives the devs an opportunity to do a lot of things under the hood that they otherwise wouldn't be able to. It's a chance to get hype around the games, which is exactly what demos did originally too. They want people to play it, they want to taste it, and they want to get people excited to buy it, right?
Yeah.
That's just I think that's what it is. The internet has created beta testing instead of demos discs, essentially, right?
I agree with that. Jordan?
I think Mark's right. I think demos have essentially become beta testings. I think some companies like Capcom and Resident Evil, I think they do it really well. Like the Resident Evil 8 demo that they just came out with, it's exclusive to PlayStation 5. It's not actually really like a demo of the game. It's essentially like a graphical showcase of the game. You could beat it in 10 minutes if you want, right? But I think it brings hype to the game, which is really exciting. Another one that I thought they did really well is, do you guys remember the kitchen demo for Resident Evil 7 on the VR?
Oh, yeah,
that made me go, oh, wow, Resident Evil, you're stepping it. I mean, that was really cool. So I think they do it really well. I think demos, I like demos. Mark's right. They've essentially become beta tests, especially with your multiplayer games, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I would like to see more, I guess.
And that is the end of my sentence.
Well, I think this year we saw legit demos like at E3 because of COVID, so there was no in-person stuff, so they did like these digital, try this game digitally for during this announcement or whatever. I think we are going to see more of that in the future, and I think we're going to see more beta testing, like you guys said as well. I think the internet has changed everything.
Well, demos / beta testing are basically a marketing tool. I mean, a demo more so is a marketing tool than a beta test, but
I think
basically beta
is
tests
too.
are demos at this point. But I mean, look at
the thing about a beta over a demo, though, where you have the advantage is this sucks. It's broken. Beta.
Yeah,
beta.
That's what
Guys,
they say.
it's a beta.
Well, if you look at the reason I think it's a marketing tool is because if you look at Overwatch had that, what was it, like a 3-day test that everybody could play, and their pre-order numbers skyrocketed. So what did they do? They extended it by a week to let people. You know what I mean? Like I think it's actually a very useful marketing tool for the developer.
Yeah, absolutely. That does us for today's stream, everybody. Thank you very much for writing in. Thank you for hanging out. For those of you who are here over on YouTube in chat, join us for the after party. Gets naughty at the after party.
Oh, dear.
Subject during today's after party will be Jordan's ass. Shall we remove it or keep it?
From the show.
From the show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We love you guys. Have a great week. We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.